In this video, we are going to be looking at single-step conversions. So how I change from grams of substance A to moles of substance A. And A represents any substance, but you're remaining in the substance, you're just changing grams to moles. So the setup of how to change units is the given number that they give you in the question goes out front. And your given number has what I like to call my old units, the units I currently have, but I don't want anymore. Then you multiply it by your conversion factor. So your conversion factor is what I have in the green parentheses. This is a ratio that relates your want and what you have. So what I want would be my new unit, and what I have would be my old unit. In this specific video, the conversion factor we're going to be working with is going to be our molar mass conversion. So 1 mole is equal to the molar mass, which we know is from the periodic table. And so when we go to set up our numbers in our conversion factor, the number with the unit of what I am starting with needs to go on the bottom so that it can get canceled out. And what I want to find, what they're asking me to find, is my new unit. So I want to put that on the top in that set of parentheses so that the unit remains. So here I have an example that's not chemistry related, but it does help you think of how to set it up in terms of something that you know, and that would be sandwiches. So our equation is right here. It says 2 slices of bread, 4 slices of turkey, and 1 piece of cheese makes 1 sandwich. They want to know if I had 288 slices of turkeys, how many sandwiches could I make? And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, wrong color. I'm going to box what I currently am given. So this is going to be my given number. So I'm going to put that in my side chart. So 288 turkey. And that is my old unit, okay? And my new unit, what I want to find is sandwiches. So I'm going to box that and label that my want, or you could label it your new. So my conversion factor is how I relate the amount of slices of turkey I have to how many sandwiches. And we get that specifically from our equation. So my conversion factor is going to be 4 slices of turkey equals 1 sandwich. And I am going to write those specifically in my old and new unit colors. So because turkey is going to be the unit I start with and what I get rid of, I am going to write that as my conversion factor, but I'm going to write it in red. So I know I want to get rid of it. And it equals 1 sandwich. And I'm going to write that in blue, and I'm just going to abbreviate it as sand so that I know that is the thing I want to find. So when you go to set it up, your given number always goes out front. So I am going to put 288 turkey. And it gets multiplied by my conversion factor. So in this case, 4 turkey equals 1 sandwich. Now, the color that you have out front should be the color that goes on the bottom. Or would you stop scratching the couch? Sorry, that was the cat. Because turkey is what I have out front, and that's my old unit, I want to get rid of it. I'm going to put it on the bottom. And they should be the same color. And then for the conversion factor, the number is 4 turkey. So that's going to be what I put in the center. What I want to find is sandwiches. So that unit is going to go on top, and I'm going to put it in blue. And the number from the conversion factor is 1. So I'm going to put that with it. So I highlight the conversion factor, like the placement, in green. Like the parentheses, that's in green. So I know that's where those numbers go. But I keep those numbers in the colors of my old units and my new units, so that I can see where my old units are going, and specifically, are they matching what I'm starting with? Because I know that they need to cancel out. So when you go to put this in your calculator, I'm going to write this in black. You're going to put it in exactly the way you see it, 288 times parenthesis 1 divided by 4. And it should give you an answer of, I think it's 72. Of course, I didn't bring my answer key. 72. And then the unit I would go with it would be whatever I have at the top. So 72 sandwiches. Okay. Excuse me. So if you know how to set it up and you know your conversion factor, you don't need to try and figure out why something goes where every single time. If you know what is your given, what's your conversion factor, what's your old and new, it's pretty easy to set up. So now I'm going to show you in terms of grams and moles. So my question is, how many moles are in 180 grams of NaCl? So what they're asking me to find is moles, and they give me 100 grams of NaCl to start. So I'm going to put that 180 grams NaCl. And it's important that you put the substance with it, because we are not always going to stay in the same substance. There are times where I might ask you to start with NaCl, and you might have to change it to CaCl2 at the end. So it's important that you have it. Our conversion factor when we go between grams and moles is 1 mole is equal to the molar mass. And so the molar mass is just the two substances added together on the periodic table. So my mole is going to be what I want to find, and my mass in grams is going to be what I'm trying to get rid of. So 1 mole is equal to the mass of NaCl. So Na is 22.99, Cl is 35.45. It would be 58.44 grams. So when you go to set it up, your given number goes out front. My given number is 180 grams NaCl. That's not the right color. And I am going to multiply it by my conversion factor. So if I know that in 1 mole there's 58.44 grams, I can figure out how many moles are in 180 grams. My old unit, grams of NaCl, is going to go on the bottom for my conversion factor. So I'm putting that 58.44 grams NaCl on the bottom. And what I want to find is moles of NaCl. And every time you find the molar mass, the number that goes with mole is going to be 1. Okay. When you go to put this in your calculator, you're going to set it up the exact same way that you see it. So 180 times parenthesis 1 divided by 58.44, that's going to give me about 3.08. And my unit is going to be moles. So if you set this up correctly and the color that you start with is the color that's on the bottom, they would cancel out. And then you're left with moles. I think using colors to start with when you're learning it is helpful when you're seeing the placement. But once you get the hang of it, you don't need them. But they are very useful. What I want you to do now is you are going to try the next question, the you try. On your paper, I want you to set up your little conversion chart. So put your given number and then your conversion factor. The question is, how many moles are in 500 grams of CaCl2? So I want you to, 1, mark up the question, 2, fill out the chart, 3, set it up, and then solve. When you're finished with this, you are going to check your answer with me before you move on.